On Sunday, President Museveni directed that the inter-district movements be suspended from 10th June in a bid to reduce the spread of COVID-19 following a surge in infections of the pandemic in the country.
Registered tourist vehicles also should move.
This means that after 10th June, only tourist vehicles and cargo vehicles will be allowed to move between districts.
Yes, tourist vehicles, the big land cruisers, the ones which have been extended and customized for tour purposes, those ones are self-explanatory. Everybody who sees that will know that this is a tour vehicle and they will be able to let it go. Then there is also the tour vans, which are also customized for tourist activities. These will usually have the words in big capital letters, tourist van or tourist vehicle. They will have red number plates because for the most part they are tax exempt, and they will also be, the drivers will have their IDs, they will have the logos of the company, so it is going to be very easy for the police, for the public to identify that this is a tour vehicle with clients.
With continuing uncertainty in the tourism sector following last year's lockdown, the associations want their members to adhere to the presidential guidelines by moving with the right documentation while transporting tourists.
Make sure that you move with the itinerary for your guests. If you're a tour operator going to pick up your guests from the airport, have your IDs on you to show that you're actually a bona fide tour operator. Make sure you have the tickets for the guests so that you can be allowed to move outside of curfew hours to confirm they actually going to the airport to pick up guests and taking them to their, for their trips.
After COVID-19 hit Uganda in March 2020, adversely affecting tourism, the operators and government have been determined to promote domestic tourism as a way of supporting the sector.
So even if you're a domestic tourism and you say, I want to go to Chobe, you really must have that itinerary of, I'm going to Chobe from the 24th to the 30th. I am leaving on this date. I am going to stay at Chobe. This is the lodge contact details. Anybody can be able to follow up and see. So even that movement, even if it's for domestic tourism, it has got to be structured.
When everything had normalized in the tourism sector, you'd find some of the tour companies hiring vehicles from people who do not have registered companies, and they would use them to ferry tourists around. But there is fear that some of these people who do not have registered companies might take advantage of this partial lockdown and start ferrying passengers from district to district. So what kind of action would the Uganda Tourist Association take against their own, especially the errant tour operators?
First of all, somebody would be deregistered from the association. Their tour operator's license could also be revoked.
Although the airport and hotels are open, Byamugisha says the recent surge of COVID-19 cases in Uganda, which was reported by the international media, has affected the hotel and tourism business.
Right now, I can confirm that all conferences, meetings, events, functions have been cancelled. The functions, weddings have been cancelled and maybe will be rebooked with a smaller number. But again, that means less money coming into the hotels. That means less need for a big number of staff.
The president has, however, warned that if the set measures in place are not adhered to, he would return later this week to impose a total lockdown. SUDHIR BYARUHANGA, NTV.